Well, it's Sunday, end of the weekend. What did you do? What did you do? you know, uh, I seek rewards. I seek rewards for being a beacon of light. I seek rewards for having the right things to say. I seek rewards for just about everything I do. And as far as being a beacon of light, it's for those brothers that's in the darkness, bending to the societal demands on that they make on men without offering the just rewards for their demands. See, we have made errors in judgment. Let me call this phone. Let me make sure my phone is working. Hey Siri, call radio show. Yeah, it's working. Okay, you guys, call in, ask whatever question you want to ask, because shit is working. But we all have made errors in our past. I'm 73, so I done made a lot of fucking errors. But I'm not gonna suffer from my past. You shouldn't suffer from what you did in the past either. You know, I will acknowledge that times have changed and people are doing all kinds of things differently. They might even vote for a woman president, but now I wouldn't vote for a woman because it's time. If a woman do win the presidency, I hope it's because she know what the fuck she doing. I don't think it's time or it will be time. I know there's some of you guys who's thinking about getting my doggone course. Now is a great time to get on the team. I've been, forced to sit my ass down and rest. But my resting ain't gonna pay no goddamn bills. My resting ain't gonna do nothing to propel me into my future. Unless, of course, you're ready to get laced. If you are ready, you know, come on, sign up. I gotta do like the rest of us has to do, and I gotta get it whether I'm sick or not. Whether I'm, you know, under the weather or not. But you know me, I'm gonna get out. I remember when we was younger, we used to listen to the Temptations, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, the Whispers, and many other fucking groups who would set the mood for the evening. Uh, we didn't have to listen to a particular cut because back then they made albums and maybe 7 or 8, 9, 10 songs was on one album, and all them motherfuckers was bad. We just would choose one to listen to. Uh, the thing about what I'm saying is there was no way you could listen. You could be down on a goddamn woman, and you ain't gonna end up in them draws listening to one of those groups. And I just wonder who the fuck do you guys listen to today? Uh, What group like the Isley Brothers would guarantee that you and Baby ended up between the sheets? The big thing or the difference in those groups and the ones today is you did not have to hear anything explicit in their music. Uh, you didn't need nothing to entice you, male or female. You didn't need anything to entice you into getting in the mood. It was the sheer soul of their music that connected to the souls of whoever the fuck was listening, black or white, no matter what race. I mean, you guys mentioned John Legend and a couple of other dudes, but you didn't mention that motherfucking Jaheim. I like that motherfucker, and I have always liked him. But I mean, he wouldn't do it for me either. You guys did hit on some good ones, and I'm gonna, get fresh and with my music. And I will admit that I like some of that Robin Thicke's music too. But there was no wrong answer as far as that question I asked. It was just, different eras. And I just want to know how can the motherfuckers, feel sexy with a motherfucker talking about bitch this, bitch that. And the bitch talking about suck my motherfucking titty, nigga. I mean, that's what you guys like. That's what you guys like. See, I always been told the longest journey begins with the first fucking step. Now, that first step uh, on the journey, even for a professional stepper as you are, it begins with a single step. That first step on the journey is quite scary. So I wouldn't mind or I wouldn't talk shit if you would kind of chickened out. It can be scary enough to make you have doubts about what the fuck it is you intend to begin. Now, a good thing to remember at this time when you're having doubts is what you decided to make the move for. It's a big thing that you guys do not understand. Checking yourself is important. When you decide to do something, it was a few days ago now that you decided to do it, you just can't blindly keep doing it. You got to check yourself regularly to make sure it's the thing to do. You're going to have doubts. You just are. But you aren't supposed to run from your doubts. Now, when you embark on that goddamn journey, if it's really a life altering trip you're considering, see, you guys are so fucking scary when you have butterflies in your stomach about something. You get scared to do it. But don't you know, or do you know, you should have butterflies. If what you're talking about is important, it should be sort of make you anxious. Not anxious to actually get it done, but anxious about doing what it takes to get it done. Because if it's that important and you don't get it done, you ain't gonna get what you're looking for. Most times, at this point, the average motherfucker have no idea where their change is gonna take them. You only believe that it's, time to change some aspect of your life, so you're going after it. I have been in a change mode for the past few years. There has been a void in my life ever since I left them goddamn streets. And it has taken all these years or all this time to find something that could, replace that excitement I got. Now, whether you know it or not, I realized the most important thing I've taken from the streets into my square life is the confidence to take on the unknown. I'm not afraid to, see what it's about. Now, recently, I have been confronted with some personal decisions. And this decision had me in a pickle. Now, I talk to very few people, but I definitely talk to my daughter. And I was tripping about a decision I had to make. And who do you think came to my rescue? My precious daughter. She made me realize a decision had to be made. I'm going to tell you something. I haven't had a job in a gang of years. And maybe a little over a year ago, I put an application in to supervise a group of cabinet makers. At the time, I really wanted that job or a job. And I thought, this shit is right up my alley. It was a supervisor's job. And, I'm really good with my hands and hand tools, which is all you're going to really need. You need to know how to read a ruler and all that shit. But I'm saying, I had the skills to do this job. I went to the interview, presented my resume, and was told that they would contact me. Needless to say, that was fucking discouraging. And that was like 18 months or so before this, my daughter helped me. And I had completely forgotten about it. So, fuck it. That's what I told myself. I went out to get the mail the other day, and there was a letter in there for me from that company. And I wondered, what the fuck could these motherfuckers want? And when I opened it and read the letter, I was shocked. The company had misplaced my application and had been looking for me for over 11 months. They had recently moved, and in the process of moving, they found my goddamn, not my application, but several applications that had got, lost in the mix. Falling through the cracks of business, whatever. And my shit was one of them. This company, they apologized profusely and offered 7 racks more than when I applied. I called and spoke with the personnel. They wooed me, of course. And I prepared to go re-interview. And on the way, something came over me. Here I am, trying my best to get into a different arena than I had started in, because I wasn't finna go back out there and look for some hoes. I needed to get a job. I had a daughter to take care of. And SWU was just getting off the ground. I realized how important inspiring kids is to me, which is why speaking to young people about life is what I do. And it wasn't paying me anywhere near what I would make at this company, but I loved it. I debated the idea for a few minutes, while heading to the interview, and my phone rang. It was my little girl, who is nowhere near little anymore. but I still see her as my little girl. She wanted me to bring her some shit from, the store when I returned from the interview. And as I was talking, she heard something in my voice. She said, "Dad, what's wrong?" "Nothing is wrong, baby. Daddy just thinking." That's how I responded to it. "Dad, I can hear it in your voice. Something is wrong. What is it?" She asked again. "Honey, I just got to make a decision about that job offer that I was going to. Uh, I got it a while back. Now I'm going to re-interview because of some bullshit that happened at that job." "You don't want it?" she asked. "I want it, but I want to do what I've been doing lately, but it just doesn't pay the bills yet." "But Dad, you told me money isn't what it's always about." She got my attention when she said that. Then she said, "You said your passion and heart is where you should place all your concerns and efforts. And I've seen you when you're happy, and I've seen you when you're sad. And I think you should keep doing what you're doing, what you started. Because whenever I see you doing that, I can see it makes you the happiest." Me and Faye was talking about that when you left. "We think you should keep on doing what you do. We're doing." Now, she repeating my words that I told her. And as I listened to her, I realized she was telling me the right thing to do. I also realized this journey I'm on is one of many, many fucking steps that I have on that I have to take to get to where I want to go. And I've only taken about half of it. So I thought if I went to work for somebody else, I would never have the time to complete this journey. And that would be a shame. It would be a shame because no matter where I'm at, in what's the call number? Oh man, I'm sorry. Shit. I forgot to put that up. Good looking out, bro. But uh, what I'm saying is, I wouldn't have time to do what I'm doing, and I couldn't devote as much energy into it. So it would be a shame because no matter where I'm at in the journey, the worst thing to do would be to quit. Another reason it would be a shame is, what I'm doing now is the closest thing to making me happy since I was with him. So I sat in my vehicle a moment longer and decided to bust a U-turn. Fuck going to that job interview that I'm gonna hate. I'm gonna dedicate myself to my passion, and that's to become a voice for the common sense in the life of the fast lane motherfuckers. See, SWU is it for me. I get more from spitting my shit to people that possibly can understand, if not people that really need to hear what I speak about, than I would get from any fucking job. I think I really love advising these young dudes and these young ladies on the things that they ask about. The thing that really got to me about this was it took my daughter to show me the light. And here I am thinking about being the one to show people the light. That's why I am a firm believer in the information you need most may not come from conventional entities, but your ass best be prepared to hear it when it does come. The journey continues. Now, I am your source of confidence and will come out on the bright side of these politics that we're experiencing. Even through these trying times, you can see a fucking rainbow. You still can see a rainbow. In any country other than these fucking United States, a leader or a politician employing the tactics of our fucking leader to dismiss democracy, they would have taken over the government and began a tyranny. This motherfucker never suffered from any of the wrongs that he's done. He done these wrongs in plain sight. This motherfucker is still saying that virus was a hoax. My brother died from that virus. My nephew died from that virus. And this motherfucker still won the election. Now, with all the people that died from COVID, how can a person fix their mouth to say such words that it's a hoax or was a hoax? Now the motherfucker has regained the White House and he running around like a fool claiming Democrats hired Casper the Friendly Ghost to sneak around and change votes. And there are still sane or supposedly sane people believing that Casper and Broomhilda mess with the voting. But tell me this. Who should be the most pissed off? I think the Mexicans should be the most pissed off because they ended up voting for these motherfuckers thinking that they was going to avoid what they going through now. Family and chaos, the motherfucking National Guard in their driveway. The motherfuckers can't do shit, can't go nowhere, can't do. I'm saying, you know, they targeted the black counties, the brown counties, they gerrymandering. And there's black people who don't think the shit is racist. How you support a motherfucker who don't think shit of you is just like those motherfucking house niggas used to be. You and Massa Trump lost once. Well, you guys didn't won this time. I thank all of you who voted. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because power is a motherfucker. And most people go through their entire lives without experiencing any power. If you're potentially a powerful person, there's a couple of things you should do to empower yourself. The number one thing to do is learn who you really are. Deep inside, what do you really want? I told myself a long time ago, all I want is my daughter to grow up and not be on drugs and not be one of these fucked up kids. And let me tell you something, the way I raised her with the truth, I mean, she's turning out to be a pretty cool young lady. She damn near 30, got a baby, 1 year old, been working at the same job for 4.5 years. And she's actually employing the things that she learned from me. The second thing, after learning who you are, you got to develop a set of principles that you can't violate under any circumstances so you can remain this person. Then, and only then, will you be in position to see where your power is and how to use it best. A lot of you motherfuckers don't know this about me, but I'm quite sentimental. I heard years ago, when two people are married for an extended time, 60, 70 years, they are so attracted to one another that if one of them dies, the other one will soon follow. Man, I watched Bush's funeral, and I swear I couldn't help but tear up. And I know it wasn't because I respected what he did as a president, but in reality, I know it was because his wife had died a few months earlier, maybe a year earlier. And within months, so did he. Now that was love. And I fully respect that about President Bush 41. Now, whatever Christmas party it was when they met, it was fucking real. And it lasted till they both were old and ready to go. Now, let me tell you something. I think about that kind of shit. But you know what I think about sometimes? Since I have met a few of you motherfuckers, and I like kind of the way you hanging in, trying to be real. And I believe in order for you to carry the torch, you have to start thinking about this shit. But I think about what I'll be thinking in 20 years from now. If I do get to live that fucking long, am I gonna have all my facilities? I just really would like to see how some of you cats would have done in 20 years. Hell, I'll be like 90. And what I'm saying is what I think probably won't even matter to no motherfucker. But I probably would enjoy seeing what you cats have, evolved into. I by no means have listed any motherfucking young peas who have serious game, even in today's climate. So don't get insulted that I left names out. I'm acknowledging all of you that's, putting it down as close to proper as you can. It's a narrow path, but if you keep your eye on the crown, you won't slip. It's abba dabba time, and most of us who have reasons to be sad will have a compounded circumstance to deal with. Shit. It was some damn movie that was on, and it got to me in about 6 minutes. And I immediately turned. I'm really fucking sensitive most times, but mostly around the holidays more than others. Man, am I lucky. I don't blame you for thinking I'm sick because I could talk about me all day. When a person like me gets insulted, I go off. No one physically did anything to me, but my integrity means the most in the motherfucking world to me. And I'm just not gonna be insulted. Now this bitch was trying to holler at her brother. And I ain't gonna mention the bitch's name, but she insulted me by trying to question me. But she's been with this 21st century shit. And they accept shit like that. After I gave her a small fragment of my thoughts, I blocked her. For a long fucking time, I did not accept women as Facebook friends. But some of them motherfuckers, got in under the radar. I think I got caught up in the number of friends I had and tripped. I'm not going to punish my good female friends because of one silly woman. But she reminded me why I don't accept women friends in the first place. If a female started talking about this abba especially the abba I spit, and I return the conversation to her, I'm just as bad as her. Bitches can't talk to me unless they want to make a move. Hoes, that is. When I was out there, I had 0 women phone numbers in my book. Hoes know what to do to get with me. The police would get in my phone book and think it was a trick book. Because all dudes' names is in there. I don't now and really didn't then play with this fucking abba. And I really don't think you want to play with it. I really think you you're doing it correctly. But you're not. You see, when a real hoe gets, out of line with me, she gonna have a check coming. But I forget, this is the internet era, and outlaws, renegades, and foul-mouthed pretendo hookers are bountiful. I would mention this girl's name, but, that would be giving her way too much action. So I'll just say, I ain't stopping what I'm doing for shit. It's not up to me, but I gotta stay relevant. I'm not gonna fade into the sunset. Fuck no. Hey, some motherfucker asked me what's the goddamn call-in number, and motherfucker didn't even call in. What is up with that? I thought come on, man. You motherfuckers all this shit I'm spitting, and you motherfuckers don't really have anything to say about it. I'm renewing my old skills and gaining a gang of new ones. I'm getting skills, and I'm on a mission. This mission is going to keep me pertinent, relevant, germane, and important. Don't be mad at me because I ain't no bum. I study, I work, and I do what's necessary for me to feel as I do. I certainly do. That's why I could care less what a motherfucker think about me. I don't give a fuck what you think about my past or my future. I know this, my future is of my own making. Something I chose to do based on how well I know myself. I cannot stand taking instructions as a job would have me doing. I love being creative and fresh with my ideas. So what else would suit me better than working with some of the shit that I learned? I want what I'm doing, and I'm going to have it. I'm not taking nothing for granted because I know God, me, and my family wants me to succeed. And whether you know it or not, you need me. I garnered hella attention from my past, but you just don't know me. I will garner a hella lot of attention from what I will do with my future. Because I'm not simply a pimp. I was a pimp de jour. Believe that. People will never learn, and let me say it again, people will never learn that I know I'm retired and no longer am in the game. So it would seem that it would make no sense to call me out unless you're talking about a fight. And I'll let you know the answer to that right now. Hell no, I wish I would fight. I ain't finna do the fight. I wish you all would learn that game is priceless and timeless. A real motherfucker from the 40s, if he was living, could kick him with a 19-year-old turnout pimp and offer him some pertinent advice. See, people continue to have a problem with me making these powerful statements concerning this abracadabra I lived. I really don't care, but for you future challengers, remember, I ain't hardly gonna consider some pimp shit with you because I ain't no pimp. I pimped past tense, which means I'm doing something else now. What you should be thinking about, which is what I always think, is why would a young fly nigga be, comparing his game with mine? Knowing I ain't had a hoe in almost 20 years. You want to know why? Because I pimp so well, straight lace with no changes, like Willie Mays place in the field. Muhammad Ali whooped on the motherfucker's ass, who are both still talked about in their respective sports. Because when you do something as good as I did, people will never forget it, and you're gonna always be remembered. You're gonna always have people who want to compare you with them. Muhammad Ali would never accept a challenge from a baby boxer. Even if he does have a belt, and I would never accept a challenge from one of these young pimp ass niggas unless it's a talk off. that I can do much better than compete with your motherfucking lion in the game ass. Shit. By the way, there's nothing cool about calling a nigga out who you know ain't coming. It just makes you feel good to be able to say, Rosebud ain't shit. I called him out and he didn't accept. You silly young fools. If I accepted one of those fucking challenges, it would be like that cartoon about the baby lion who learned to growl. And since he could growl, he felt he could go call the old lion out. The old lion looked at him and yawned, and before he roared and blew that little cub away. This was a very popular phrase back in the day. but, but you know what? This is how we lived on the streets. We ask questions, but fuck the answers. Your answers does not reflect what I'll get from the question. Somehow we all knew this or we learned it quickly. So instead of one of us relying on something another motherfucker had to say, of course we listened, especially if he was a veteran in the game. But we was taught to think about what is going on in our lives, not someone else's life. You guys need to think about this shit. We valued all the input, but we only relied on our own decisions. That's why once we think of it, we just doing it. Think it, do it. Hollywood motherfucking Shantae, nigga, I didn't see you in there. What's up, baby? Hey, all you guys. I didn't get no calls. I don't know why y'all scared of this shit. Because you know me. I ain't gonna do nothing but keep spitting the real. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm out.